Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Trader J and today we'll be doing another live trading video. So today's pair is New Zealand Swiss franc. As you can see here, price was in a long-term downtrend. However, with this newer high that it's created recently, it looks like it's going to be moving to the upside. Now, the reason for this trade is of course the bounce off the 200 EMA. As you guys may know, I am a trend follower, swing trader, so I only trade with the trend. If you can see here, if you pull the fib from low to high, prices has actually rejected off the 0.5 fib level. Also, as it's printed a bullish engulfer, the next candle was where I opened my trade. Stop losses just below the previous candles and take profits just at the last high. If you also pull a fib extension from high to low to where it rejected from, we can see that our take profit is close to that 1-to-1 fib level. Additionally to that, the stochastics are also showing that price has retraced and now is sitting in the oversold region. Therefore, we can expect more upside in the coming days. Alright, let's use the magic of editing and fast forward to see where this trade goes in the next coming days. Alright guys, so this is exactly why we let our trades run. Set it, forget it, and leave it. As we can see here, price did come down, almost hitting our stop losses. Look at that, just literally, barely scraping through. So price did decide to pump back up since then, and we are in some nice profits. So I have since then moved my stop losses to break even and also into some profits. If we scroll down to the 4-hour time frame, we can see where I moved my stop loss and why I moved my stop loss. So since price has pumped up, I moved my stop to these lows there. But since then, prices kept going and going. So I moved my stop loss up to this point here. And why did I do that? Well, there's a major level of resistance just here. So what price did is it broke straight through it without any hesitation and retested a little bit before continuing, and that was enough for me to say, hey look, you know what, let's move our stop loss here just to bag some profits and see if it keeps going. What we're expecting price to do now is, since it's pumped up, we usually get a retracement once price breaks out like this, but if it doesn't, then we may even get a bullish run like the one we had right here. So should price do that, it is lining up with our 1-to-1 on a fib extension level here. So this is the 1-to-1 here, and if price does decide to keep continuing going up, that would be pretty nice. But from here on, I'll most likely keep trailing my stops and see how far this trade will go. Pretty happy with this trade so far, guys. I'm not gonna lie, I did stay patient throughout this whole trade. It's been 2 weeks since I entered this position and was in drawdown, and seeing this move is very nice considering it does pay off to be patient most of the time when you're trading. But we are in the clear with this trade now. It is a risk-free trade and we'll just let the trade run and see how much more profits we can get. Okay, just a quick update. What has price been doing? So we can see that price broke out of this consolidation area where we've entered, and it took about a week for price to break out of the consolidation before pumping straight up. So what can we expect further? So on the 4-hour, we can see that the EMAs are now catching up to price. So the price came up to this point here, to this major level of resistance before rejecting off it a little bit, came back down to this point where the EMAs have now caught up to the price and now bouncing back up. We can expect price to keep continuing to go up higher. Since then, we have moved our stop loss to this major level of support. So if you can see here, price came down early before, came down, rejected, came down, rejected, came down, rejected, and just kept doing that for a little bit. So that's why we moved our stop losses there. We've also given the EMAs a chance to catch up so that we have some level of some protection on our trade. So should price come down further than this and break this 20 EMA, we could expect price to go down further. However, at this point, the trade is looking pretty good. So back to the daily time frame, could be expecting something like this happening. So price just take off like that, like this. And should that happen, if we pull the fib extension from low to high to low, the 1-to-1 is up at this point around here somewhere. So that does look like a very good area to take profit, as it's also lining up with this major level of resistance as well. So instead of letting price maybe run all the way up to here, which it may not, I might just pull my stop loss down to this point should price start to hesitate at this point. If it does that, then we'll get out this trade with some nice profits. So from here, that'll be about 2.7, almost 3, 2.8 to 1, which is pretty good as well. Okay, guys, we'll leave it there. Okay, unfortunately, we are all out of New Zealand Swiss franc. As we can see here, price came up, pushed further up to about this point, which was about 2.5 to 1 of our risk reward ratio before we decided to take us out. So we did begin to trail our stop loss a bit tighter. So after it broke this point here, I moved my stop loss up to this point. The reason behind that was, if you go down to 1 hour, we can see that price has been following the 20 EMA pretty nicely until about this point here, where it just wicked it down due to volatility. I was a bit too tight on my stop loss, however, still came out with some profits. Therefore, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So I moved my stop loss to this point when price broke out, broke out of these highs here, moved it here, and I got stopped out. Okay, so if we pull a fib extension from high to low to high, we can see that that's where 0.618 level is, and price is starting to hesitate off that level there, which is why I decided to move my stop losses up to that point here and bag about just a little bit shy of 2 to 1 risk reward. Yeah, pretty happy with this trade still, even though it didn't hit the target of 3.6 to 1, which is up there. I felt like I rode this trade pretty well. We entered about there where price came down, almost hitting us out for a loser. So what happened was price decided to then pump all the way back up in here, and you don't actually get a lot of these. Price doesn't always go straight to target. This time we were lucky, and usually what happens after a massive move up like this, price usually tends to retrace back down. As you can see, it comes straight back down. That's the reason why I was a bit tighter on my stops on this trade, as I didn't want to give back too much of the profits. Now, if price was to, let's say we're trading down, as if price was to come down, come up, ebbs and flows like this, then I would most likely move my stop loss as we go. In this situation, price was moving up quite aggressively, quite quick, so I decided to move my stop loss right under it just to see what it would do. So I did move it at this point here. I was waiting for this area to break before I moved my stop loss up to here, and once it did, which it did right here, that's when it gave me confirmation to move my stop loss to this point here. Now, after price did this move right here and came back up, that's when I moved it up again. So I kept trailing it up until eventually what happened was price came up and it came straight back down. If you turn on the 3 EMAs, it actually hit the 50 EMA before bouncing. Same on the 4 hour, it hit the 20 EMA before bouncing here. So a better move, I guess, would have been to leave it just under here in terms of my stop loss. However, there's enough confirmation for me to tighten up my stop loss, which I did. Unfortunately, price did not agree and just flicked down before flicking all the way back up. But look, still good trade. What I'll be doing is I'll most likely keep recording and see what happens next couple of days to see if what we did was a smart decision or not, and if price decides to come back down here again to retest this level and possibly could go up higher again, hitting my take profit eventually. So we still came out with about $156, if I'm correct, on this trade. It's not a bad trade. That does give us a 2 to 1 risk ratio, which is what we usually like to aim for anyways. What we'll do now is, like I said, we'll let the trade keep running and then see if this trade went to target or if it came back down. So after a couple of days, we can see that price did retrace further than our exit point, which was good considering our intuition was right in regards to price not being able to pump all the way up before retracing. Price rarely goes straight up in a straight line like that to target. It will most likely have to pump like this, retrace back before continuing further. So this uptrend is starting to look nice. What we could be doing now is we'll probably wait for a retracement back to the 0.6 or 0.5 level here, and most likely a bounce off the 20 daily EMA before taking this trade up further. So there could be an opportunity for an entry here should price retrace back to around this level here, and the stochastics being in the oversold region. So that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for these two factors to line up before taking the trade further. At this point, it looks like price is retracing after this big pump up. We'll come back here. Should it break this EMA here and go down further, this trade will be invalidated. However, at this stage, yeah, pretty happy that we got out at almost the high of this move, backed our profits, and move on to the next one. All right, guys, thanks for following me with this trade. If you guys enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content like this. And yeah, peace. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.